बल हरि नाम संकीर्तने हरि नाम संकीर्तने तुम्हें कृपा करे श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण नाम धने तुम्हें कृपा करे श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया एकाकिया मात नहीं पाया बल हरि नाम संकीर्तने हरि नाम संकीर्तने तुम्हें कृपा कोरी श्रद्धा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण नाम धने तुम्हें कृपा कोर सदा बिंदु दिया देह कृष्ण से तुम्हार कृष्ण देते पारो तुम्हारा शक्ति अच्छे कृष्ण से तुम्हार कृष्ण देते पारो तुम्हारा हमें का कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाये तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोली धाये तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले धाये तव पाछे पाछे हमें तो कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बोले वैष्णव ठाकुर दयार सागर वेदा से करुणा पूरी वैष्णव ठाकुर वेदा से करुणा पूरी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Thakur Jaya Hare Thakur Haridas Thakur Jaya Haridas Thakur Haribo 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 Vinte Gaura Haribo युग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्री हरिदास ठाकुर आविर्भाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्रील प्रभुपाद की समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय 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 द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद गौर भक्त वृंद गौर भक्त वृंद। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। तुण्डे ताण्डवनीरतिं वितनुते तुण्डावलीलब्धये कर्णक्रोडकदम्बिनी घटयते कर्णार्बुदेभ्यः स्पृहां चेतप्राङ्गणसङ्गिनी विजयते सर्वेन्द्रियाणां कृतिं। नो जाने जनिता कियद्भिरमृतैः कृष्णेति वर्णद्वयी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Welcome all of you for the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are discussing from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya-lila 11th chapter, the passing of Haridas Thakur. Today is the appearance day. Actually the Acharya's appearance day and disappearance day both are very auspicious. And in both occasions the Acharyas remind us about Krishna very strongly by their presence and in their absence. By their presence the whole world delights in great joy. In their absence the whole world remembers Krishna and missing. So I'm just showing you the overall breakup of the chapter. It will be difficult to cover the whole thing well. There are 108 verses in this chapter. Is it good enough? You can see clearly? You can make it a little bigger for if you want. All right? Sri Lord Chaitanya's pastimes in Jagannath Puri, and then Haridas Thakur, when he meets the Lord, what desires he expresses to the Lord. Those are 44 verses. So we will focus on one or two very important things in these verses. And then later Haridas Thakur is passing away. He leaves the body during kirtan, ceremony in the beach, and then Mahaprabhu personally begs for alms from the Anand Bazaar. Then devotees take prasad. And then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's comment and glorification of disappearance of Haridas Thakur. So, in the first few verses, Kaviraj Goswami expresses deep humility. You see what he says here? I am writing this narration of pastimes and attributes of the Lord by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. I don't know how to write properly, but I am purifying myself by writing this description, he says. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's thoughts, his speeches and his actions are all very mysterious for anyone to decode. But because Kaviraj Goswami says he heard from Raghunath Das Goswami, who was a personal associate of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spent time with Mahaprabhu personally and watched those pastimes. He says, I have heard from him and I will try my best to write properly for my purification. Although I may not be able to exactly present everything because I have my limitations. Just like in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the example is given of how different birds fly to different heights. A sparrow can fly a little bit, the eagle can fly very high. Similarly, Kaviraj Goswami presents himself as somebody who is a very insignificant devotee and not capable of flying high with a broader realization and deeper realization. So this type of humble mood of a writer is very essential, especially while approaching spiritual subject matter. Shri Radha Madhan Mohan ki. So, nobody should approach any spiritual subject in a conquering mood, but we should approach in a shelter-taking mood. Even chanting of the holy name also. Sometimes people say, I have found one technique, the holy name cannot escape, you can capture it. So that kind of capturing mode, we may come with 1,000 techniques, but no technique is foolproof that holy name can be captured. Holy name is Krishna himself, and if he wishes to descend only, he will descend. In the same manner, in our speeches, in our writings, in our chanting of the holy name, in our performance of an execution of any great seva, Lord may Lord may decide to descend or he may not descend. It may come out well or it may not come out well. Ultimately, it's in Lord's hands. So therefore, he is saying, I don't know how to write properly, but I'm purifying myself by writing this description. Because he's going to describe about Haridas Thakur's passing away. What was Haridas Thakur's mood? What was Lord Chaitanya's mood? What was the devotee's mood? And what were their exchanges? These are all very deep subject matters. See, now Haridas Thakur is expressing his desire in 31 to 34 verses. So before that, let us try to, few verses we will recite, without getting lost in the big number of verses. It will come? Jaya Gaura Deha Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Kripa Kari Deha Prabhu Nija Padadan. This is text number 5 in this chapter. All glories to the transcendental form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My dear Lord, kindly give me shelter at your lotus feet by your causeless mercy. Jaya Nityananda Chandra Jaya Chaitanya Prana Tomara Charanara Vinde Bhakti Deha Dana. All glories to Lord Nityananda, who is the life and soul of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. My dear Lord, kindly give me engagement in devotion service at your lotus feet. Now he completed Chaitanya and Nityananda. In the same manner, he prays to Advaita Acharya Prabhu. Then he is praying to all the Gaura Bhakta Gana also, begging all of them for offering devotion service. Then he is praying to Rupa Sanatan also. Yeah. Jaya Rupa Sanatana Jiva Raghunatha Raghunatha Gopala Chaya Moranatha. He is saying that All glories to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They are all my masters, he says. Ye sava prasadi leki chaitanya lila guna. Ye chaitanya leki kari apana pavana. I am writing this narration of the pastimes and attributes of Lord by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. I don't know how to write properly, but I am purifying myself by writing this description, he's saying. So he's going to begin. So here, 11 to 15, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's day and night schedules are spoken here. How in the daytime Mahaprabhu would be dancing and chanting, seeing the darshan of Jagannath with hundreds of devotees residing in Puri. That is Mahaprabhu's enjoyment. Here he says, he enjoyed the congregational chanting and dancing with devotees. In the night, he would be with his confidential devotees like Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai. And then, actually Ramananda Rai would speak some Krishna Tattva related things and Swarup Damodar will sing verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Both of them will enhance the mood of Lord Chaitanya. So one time, His Grace Janani Prabhu was telling us in Mayapur, there are 2 ways you can assist Lord Chaitanya. Either you can enhance his mood like Swarup Damodar did by quoting appropriate verses according to his mood. He may quote Vrindavan Leela, whatever rasa Mahaprabhu want to relish. Mahaprabhu would relish often Vatsalya Baba of Yashoda or the Gopis Madhurya. So know the mood of Mahaprabhu and accordingly exactly quote the verse and please him by being in his sight. Sometimes Mahaprabhu will cry tears of ecstasy and feeling of separation. At that time one has to quote the right verses to pacify the mood of separation of Mahaprabhu by quoting verses from Bhagavatam about Krishna's beauty, characteristics, Krishna's pastimes. So then Mahaprabhu would become pacified. The Krishna is coming very soon. Or Jananivas Prabhu said, you can take Prabhupada's books and go out on distribution. That's another way one can assist Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he asked all of us, which one is more easy? What do you think? Book distribution is more easy, because assisting them, we should not tell wrong words and make Mahaprabhu upset. Better we take books and distribute, you are selling. So in this way, Mahaprabhu enjoyed the day and night in remembrance of Krishna. He happily passed his days feeling separation from Krishna and exhibiting all symptoms. So, now Govinda is bringing Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur. Now you can see, when Mahaprasad is brought to us, how we should respond to that. You will see here. Ekadina Govinda Mahaprasad Laya Haridasa Dite Gela Anandita Haya. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally would bring Mahaprasad to Haridas Thakur in Siddha Bakul, or sometimes he would send Govinda to carry it. So one day Govinda came and gave to Haridas Thakur. You see, Siddha Bakul is the place in Jagannath Puri which was allotted by Lord Chaitanya for Haridas Thakur. Because Haridas Thakur used to be in Navadvip. When Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa and came to Puri, one of the days in Gambhira, when a lot of crowd of devotees had assembled there to meet Mahaprabhu, at that time Haridas Thakur also had come. He came and offered obeisances to Mahaprabhu and said, my dear Lord, you have left all of us in Nadia and come here. So I have come here also. Now you tell me, give me a place to reside at your lotus feet and see your pastimes, and we cannot be separated from you. Then Mahaprabhu said, I will allot a place for you in Puri. I am living here, you can also live here, he said. So he went to the temple of Jagannath and got one toothpick. Jagannath has a toothpick, a stick. You have seen that? His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj touches everybody's head with that. He always carries one toothpick of Jagannath. You seen that? Yeah. So he got one and then he went to one spot close to the ocean and put that stick on the ground. Instantly a very big tree grew up. In one moment, generally such miracles cannot happen unless Krishna himself performs it. And the tree grew with a large shady tree. And then Mahaprabhu called Haridas Thakur and said, this will be your place. You can reside here under this tree and chant 3 lakh names every day. So gave him instruction. He gave him a residence, he gave him instruction, and Mahaprabhu actually has chosen one person for one quality to exhibit. Like Sanatana Goswami exhibited humility, unparalleled humility, which was greatly glorified by Lord Chaitanya. Ramananda exhibited self-control, control of his senses, for which Mahaprabhu glorified him. Haridas Thakur epitomized the quality of chanting Nam Japa. And similarly, Mahaprabhu wanted Gadadhar Pandit to recite the Srimad Bhagavatam. Would always recite the Srimad Bhagavatam in Tota Gopinath. Mahaprabhu would go and sit and hear from him. And Mahaprabhu wanted Sarvam Bhattacharya to explain the meaning of mukti. What is true mukti? Mukti hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavasthiti. Real meaning of mukti is not just get liberated from sufferings of birth and death. Real meaning of mukti is to enter the spiritual world and reinstate yourself in your swarupa and serve the Lord. So he appointed Bhattacharya to explain that. Either Mahaprabhu has one devotee, Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu called, Mahaprabhu gave him a name, Rasacharya. So one of the days when all the great acharyas had come, so he gave him the ability to describe the rasa of Krishna rasa very nicely. Mahaprabhu himself was amazed how Rupa Goswami exactly captures the mood of Lord Chaitanya and puts it down in writing. One of the days when Mahaprabhu went to Siddhabakul, he saw that leaf on the roof. So he took it and saw the verse. Oh, Rupa Goswami, how did you know my heart? Exactly how you have written, In fact, Rupa Goswami's ability was, Mahaprabhu would sing a song which most people cannot understand, but Rupa Goswami would make it even more lucid, more easy to understand. So Mahaprabhu glorified Rupa Goswami. In the same manner, Mahaprabhu appointed Siddhabakul place for Haridas Thakur, that also with a purpose. Because Mahaprabhu's idea was, let Namacharya stay here. One by one he brought everybody. Sanatana Goswami would come, Mahaprabhu sent him to Siddhabakul. Rupa Goswami came, he sent him to Siddhabakul. Everybody. Because Siddhabakul is like a meeting spot for Mahaprabhu to meet his associates and perform very, very wonderful pastimes. Very important place. So Haridas Thakur was living there. So when Govinda gave prasad, Haridas Thakur, let us see what he says. Deke Haridasa Thakura Kariyache Shayana Manda Manda Kariteche Sankhya Sankirtana. So Haridas Thakur was Kariyache Shayana. He was lying down on his back and he was chanting his rounds very slowly. Why? That's explained further. Govinda kahe utha asi karaha bhojana Haridase kahe aji karimulangana. When Govinda said, Thakur, please take your Mahaprasad. But Haridas Thakur said, today I am planning to fast today. I am not going to eat anything today. Sankhya kirtana purena ke mate kaiva Mahaprasad aniyacha ke mate upekshiva. My Hare Krishna chanting rounds are not over. How can I eat Mahaprasad? But Mahaprasad you have brought, how can I reject it? So two questions he had. So generally when Mahaprasad comes, our bead bag goes behind. We generally finish the prasad first. But here he is wondering, if I don't complete my prescribed rounds, how can I eat prasad? He is asking. But if prasad is brought and kept in front of me, that is also Sakshat Krishna, how can I reject it? Like that he is asking. So his count was 3 lakh names every day, which means like 192 rounds every day. So therefore, he would take something like 16 hours, I heard. In 16 hours, he would finish 190 rounds. And when very advanced acharyas like Haridas Thakur, they can chant in 3 levels of chanting he would do. One chanting is congregational chanting. 1/3, another 1/3, he would do japa like we do. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then the 1/3 round he would chant in the mind. Upamsu we call it. So like that Upamsu, Vachika, and then congregational chanting. 3 levels. So all this put together was 3 lakh names. 1 lakh names in congregational chanting. and 1 lakh names, japa, another 1 lakh in the mind, you would chant. So you would be practically 16 hours a day, you would be chanting. So such chanting he has been doing for years together. Now his body has become old now. The body is becoming a bit invalid. Now he is getting a little sick. But his sickness is not due to uh, he came to know that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to wind up his pastimes and return back to Godhead. Simply thinking of that, Haridas Thakur could not uh, consider the separation that will be imminent. So, see, maturity means balancing contradictions to please Krishna according to Deshkal Patra. Even great souls face dilemma of choices in real life situations. Gauranga has written this. See, Prabhupada says in the purport, these points Gauranga Prabhu takes from the purport and puts. So, when we face dilemma what to do, you know what Haridas Thakur did? He took only one grain he took. That's all he put. Because Mahaprasad cannot be rejected. Prapta matrena bhaktavyam. It is said. As soon as you get Mahaprasad, one should immediately take it. But at the same, one should not reject it. Because it is Krishna's love coming from Mahaprasad. At the same time, you don't have to eat the full Mahaprasad. Just take one small grain and then continue chanting. After chanting is over, then you can take full. Good idea? That way, Mahaprasad also you didn't reject, and chanting also you will complete before eating. So Krishnanand Prabhu, in his travels, he is begging dakshina from different devotees. Everybody asks, what is dakshina you want? He says, the only dakshina I want is you complete your rounds before breakfast, prasad. People say, Prabhuji, that's the most difficult thing. Our rounds always remain for the evening. He said, that is the only dakshina I want, he says. Because if one finishes the rounds before putting the first morsel of food in the mouth, it's a very good habit. Yetavali Mahaprasad Karila Vandana Yekaranchalaya Tara Karila Bhakshana. Yeah. So he Karila Vandana, he bowed down and offered a prayer to the Mahaprasad and then took a small portion. Like that he did. So Mahaprasad is worshipable, it's a favor of Krishna. Prabhupada says it's a reciprocation from Krishna. And now Mahaprabhu is visiting Haridas Thakur. Haradina Mahaprabhu tara thai aila Susta ho Haridasa bale tare puchila. Because Mahaprabhu always will know about others by asking Saru Damodar and Govinda. Now see, as soon as he came, he asked, Susta haila? Susta how? Are you all right? Why he asked the question? Because Govinda has already told Mahaprabhu that Haridas Thakur is not well. He was lying flat. So then Mahaprabhu has come to see him. Yeah. Namaskar karite ho kaila nivedana Sharira susta haya mora asusta buddhi mana. As soon as Haridas Thakur saw Lord Chaitanya, immediately bowed down. And then he told him, Sharira susta haya mora. My body is all right. Asusta buddhi mana. My buddhi and man are not healthy, he said. Is it true? The opposite is true. Haridas Thakur's mind and intelligence are very sound because he's always a pure devotee. Only his body is sick, but he told the opposite. So that is the nature of Lord's devotees. They are extremely humble. He doesn't say that my body is sick, therefore I could not chant. He doesn't say that. He says that body is all right, but my mind and intelligence are not well. Like that he is telling. So great souls' behavior comes to be seen in such circumstances. One time I was sitting in the car behind my Shiksha Guru Devamrit Prabhu was driving in the car and Gauranga Prabhu was sitting by his side. So I was praising him that you give such wonderful classes, you answer the questions so well and you are so intelligent and everything. He was smiling, and then when signal came, he stopped the car and then said, see, Radheshyam and myself, we both are made for each other, he said. And Gauranga Prabhu asked, why do you say that? He said, he likes to praise, I like to hear. He said, is it true? Yeah. So, I have seen this in many Vaishnavas. One time, my spiritual master was sweeping his room. So immediately 3, 4 of us came and said, Maharaj, we can sweep your room. And he said, no, 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 I want to show off that I am a very humble devotee. Therefore I am sweeping. He said, although there are many who are ready to clean my room, I like to show off, he said. So great souls will speak in that kind of manner, and they are not at all eager to impress anybody. So Haridas Thakur here, he is unhappy with his inability to chant the 3 lakh names in the old age. His body is getting little invalid, and you know, he has difficulty getting up and sitting erect. You all have seen our Jagannath Das Babaji. He lived 148 years. Huh? His whole body was, his body was like a bag of bones. He was put in a tokri, in a basket, and carried by his servant Bihari. Even in that he would be chanting. So, but even in such old age and invalidity, the great devotees don't give up their chanting. Prabhu kahe kaun vyari kahat nirnaya teho kahe sankhya kirtana na puraya. Mahaprabhu asked, okay, Haridas Thakur, you are saying, your mind and intelligence are not well. What is the disease? Tell me. He said, my disease is that I cannot complete my rounds. He said, and then Prabhupada writes in the purport, spiritual disease is symptomized by not completing fixed number of rounds. Prabhupada is saying. And then Prabhupada says in the purport there, actually my spiritual master said, Bhakti Thakur said, Prabhupada says, if one cannot complete 64 rounds in a single day, then he is considered to be fallen. Fallen. Prabhupada writes it in an NOI. In the purport, NOI you will see, nectar of instruction. If somebody cannot chant 64 rounds, he is considered to be fallen. And then he said, that was a very high standard my spiritual master had introduced. But he said, but he had also introduced alternative standards to different people. Like if somebody is living in the temple and is a pujari, there is no other service, has to chant 64 rounds compulsory. Somebody is going out for preaching, along with doing activities and everything. So then 32 rounds he had kept. But some people had kept 16 rounds, businessmen, like that he had kept different people. But our Srila Prabhupada made 16 for everybody. He said everybody should chant minimum 16. He didn't say maximum 16. What he said? Minimum. What is the meaning of minimum 16? At least it should be more than 16. At least be 17 at least. That's the idea. So, and Prabhupada says in lectures that Westerners, due to their hyperactive mindset, they may find it difficult to peacefully sit and call the holy name continuously for long hours. Now, keeping that in mind, Prabhupada says, I made it 16 round standard, he says, which means indirectly it implies that Indians, who are born in this Punya Bhumi, they should be able to effortlessly chant 32 rounds, 64 rounds and all. That's the meaning of that. But oftentimes we become overburdened by a lot of service and people just finish the 16 rounds. So, and then Prabhupada also says that the 16 rounds should be chanted loudly enough that one can hear himself. You should be able to hear and others should be able to hear. He's saying like that one should chant. Prabhupada says one should not hiss like a serpent, he says. I said, don't do it, he says. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Actually, to pronounce clearly, chant audibly, and hear attentively, if one can do 16 rounds, it's a big achievement it is. Oftentimes, in the beginning when we chant, our energy level is very high. But after we cross 8 rounds, 10 rounds, you get tired. Similarly, we walk also sometimes. After 1 or 2 rounds, your legs are paining. You get tired. So chanting is one activity, you can never be a champion. You have to keep on. His Holiness Sachinand Maharaj says, be a japa scientist, he says. Keep on trying to improve chanting. Prabhu kahe vrida haila sankhya alpakara Siddha deha tumi sadhane agraha kenakara. He's saying you have become very old now, Haridas. You can reduce, instead of 3 lakh names, you chant only 2 lakh names. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted 2 lakh. Goswamis chanted 1 lakh names. Sometimes they would chant 2 lakh names, some days. So he says that instead of 3 lakh, you can make it 2 lakh names. And Siddha Dehatami, you are a liberated personality. So you don't have to follow rigidly such big number of names every day. Lokanistarite ye tomara avatar. Namera mahima loke karila prachara. Now you are coming in this world to deliver the people in general, and you have sufficiently preached the glories of the holy name also in this world. So Mahaprabhu gave Haridas Thakur, you are old, you are liberated, and you also preached sufficiently. Now you can relax for some time, take care of your health. Like that Mahaprabhu is saying. So Prabhupada says in purport, unless one has come to the platform of spontaneous love of God, which means Raga Bhakti, he must follow the regulative principles. See, regulative principles is not the 4 regs. These regulative principles are Navavidha Bhakti and 64 principles. One should, and also prescribed number of rounds. One should strictly adhere. Like a guru tells you, you have to chant 16 rounds, follow 4 regs and 64 principles like taking charanamrita, taking darshan of the deity, bowing down to Lord, circumambulating, decorating the deities and worshipping, doing puja for the Lord. So these are all very, very important for like studying the Shastra, preaching it, and distributing prasad, performing Harinam Sankirtan. There are 64 principles like that, given by Rupa Goswami. These regulative principles are very important for sadhana bhaktas like us. When you become a Siddha Bhakta, then some of them can be compromised. Not all need to be followed. For example, when Tota Gopinath, was a tall deity, and Gadadhar Pandit would try to dress, when he has to put the garland, he was very old, Gadadhar Pandit. So he could not reach the height of the deity to put. So the Lord felt very great pity for Gadadhar. So he bent his legs. If you see Tota Gopinath, he's almost like about to sit. He's not sitting also, not standing also. He's bending a little bit. Okay, good. Like this he's doing. So, in this way, even in old age, these great souls were serving. Tota Gopinath was dressing daily. Haridas Thakur in old age, body is becoming invalid. Still he is chanting. And our Raghunath Das was, Sanatana Goswami also, Raghunath Das also. Sanatana Goswami one day was going around Govardhan. He was very, very old, invalid, body is trembling. So that time, Madan Mohan came, appeared and gave him one Govardhan Shila and told him that, now it is kept in Radha Damodar temple. If you circumambulate this 4 times, it's equivalent to going around Govardhan, full parikrama. When some boys came to know, they said, Prabhuji, this is wonderful. 4 times I already did. Over for today? That is not for young boys like you. Young boys can always go around Govardhan fully. When one becomes very old and invalid, he told Sanatan. So Mahaprabhu is reducing the quota of austerities for them, but they are refusing to reduce the austerities. Generally, we want less austerity and more enjoyment, but our great souls want more austerity and no enjoyment. Isn't it? That you can say. That's what I told you. Raghunath Das, vows of chanting and dandavats. Raghunath Das did how many dandavats daily? 1,000 to deities and 2,000 to Vaishnavas. 1,000 obeisances to deities and 2,000 obeisances to Vaishnavas he would do every day. Haridas Thakur's Namacharya chanted 3 lakh names. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirmed Haridas Thakur that you are the incarnation of Brahma who has come as Namacharya now. Vipasankya kari kara sankirtana Haridasa kahe shuna mora satya nivedana. The Lord said, now please reduce the fixed number of times you chant. But Haridas Thakur said, I have a request for you, my dear Lord. And then Haridasa Thakur is revealing his last desire because he wants to leave his body now. Huh? Before Mahaprabhu winds up his earthly pastimes, Haridasa Thakur wants to leave his body. He expresses humility, you see. Hina jati janma mora nindya kalevara Hina karme ratamui adama pamara. See, Hina jati, I belong to a low-class family. My birth is low class. My body is most abominable. Because he was born in Yavan Parivar. He's saying that I am a Yavana. Huh? He's saying, I engage in low class work. So, neither is saying, Adama, Pamara, I am most fallen, condemned of men, says. Adrishya sprishya more angikara kaila. Raurava hayite kadi more vaikute chadaila. He's saying, the personalities like me, born in Yavan Parivar, who eat cow flesh, they are not even fit to be seen by great personalities like you, Lord Chaitanya. One should not see persons like me, one should not touch persons like me. I am Adrishya, Asprishya. But Angikara Kaila, you accepted me as your servant. This means that you have delivered me. You saved me from Raurava hell and you are raising me to the Vaikuntha platform by giving the holy name to me. Like that, he is very grateful. One very important thing is, Prabhupada writes in the Nectar of Instruction, if somebody is born in the West, when they come to India, some people say he is American Vaishnava, he is Australian Vaishnava, like that they say, which is offensive, Prabhupada says. Goswami can be from any part of the world, provided they have controlled their senses and engaged in Krishna service. They can be called as Goswami. So Indian Jati Gosais, those who are coming in the caste of Goswamis, they should not be proud. Only we can be Goswamis, Prabhupada says. But then another point Prabhupada says, those are born not in Goswami family, but outside that, if they are given the title Goswami, they should not be proud that, yes, we have become qualified. They should not think like that. Rather, they should think, oh, you are born in Vrindavan. You are a Brajavasi. Oh, you are born in Nityananda Vamsh or Advaita Vamsh. You are a great soul. You are coming in that type of parampara and you are born in a Goswami family. You are great. Like that, they should feel. So Prabhupada is teaching both sides, both people, how they should be humble. I am born in a Brahmana family. I am Brahmana boy. I can't be very proud that I am Brahman. Moment you think I am Brahman, we become proud. So what kind of Brahman am I? I am wearing pant, shirt and going and making money in this world. I am chasing after the glitter and glamour of this world. Simply because I am born in a Brahman doesn't make me a great soul with a halo around the head or something. Now times have changed. Am I doing Brahma Karma? Am I doing, do I have the qualities of a Brahman? Shamat, Dhamma, Tapa, Shaucham, Shanti, Rajam, Jnanam, Vijnanam, Astikyam, Brahma Karma, Svabhajam, correct, no? So, the Shilata, the Guna, all those things one should ask. So here, Haridasa Thakur is teaching us, even though he is chanting 3 lakh names and is completely purified and liberated, is Brahma himself, who has appeared as Haridas Thakur, his consciousness is an ideal example for us to follow. So what one should ideally feel. Actually, this type of humility is called as, like we say, Kshantir Avyartha Kalatvam Viraktir Manashunyata. Manashunyata is this one. In Bhava stage, this type of humility manifests. In our conditioned stage, we may artificially try to be humble. It's very difficult. But when we come to Bhava and Prema stage, this type of humility manifests. Yeah. Swatantra Ishvara Tumi Hao Ichamaya Jagat Na Chao Yare Yaicha Ichahaya Anekan Chaila Re Prasada Karya Viprera Shraddha Patra Kainam Lecha Haya. See, my dear Lord, you are fully independent. You act by your free will. Mahaprabhu has done 2 things to him. One is he made him Namacharya. Another thing, by Mahaprabhu's inspiration, Advaitacharya Prabhu gave the Shraddha Patra, Shraddha Patra. Shraddha time they used to have a big leaf. In your homes you must have seen when they do Shraddha, They keep not one leaf, sometimes they put 3-4 leaves also. Big plate. And lot of items will be there. 20-25 items they will serve in that. When we were small kids, when mother would be making the plates, we used to ask, can we sit and finish everything? Huh? She'd say, hey, no, this will be given only to the biggest Brahman. So sometimes 7-8 Brahmans should come to home. And the leader of all the Brahmins is the biggest personality with a big tummy, is a yajna performer, and he would recite, everybody will say Swaha. Huh? Like that. He's a leader of all the Brahmins. Huh? He would sit there. First he would sit, and then others will be given one leaf, they will be served. The biggest leaf is given to him. The biggest Brahman, very reputed Brahman, one who is very learned, realized, very advanced, he is given that. So, but Advaitacharya Prabhu, can you imagine 500 years ago, how rigid was Indian orthodoxy. Huh? In that orthodoxy also, all the hundreds of Brahmanas had come for his one of the Shraddha functions. He said, today's Shraddha Patra will be given to whom? Haridas Thakur. So you can imagine, that can be the biggest controversy which will be in the headlines of the newspaper at that time. Huh? And Advaitacharya Prabhu, the leader of the Brahmins, gives the Shraddha Patra to Haridas Thakur, born in a Yavan family. Like that. Can you imagine? And Advaitacharya told Haridas Thakur, don't hesitate to sit and take this prasad. Why? Because you chant the holy name, you are equal to, if I feed you, feeding you is equal to feeding 1,000,000 Brahmins. He said, that was his conviction. So that's what he's quoting here. That, I ate from that Shraddha Patra plate because although I was born in a family of meat eaters, you gave me such a position. You gave me Namacharya, you gave me Shraddha Patra. Like that he's telling. And then here he's revealing the heart. I had one desire in my heart for a long, long time, he says, that before you close your pastimes, I want to wind up my life so that I will not have to see you leaving us and feel the pangs of separation from you. So before you close your chapter, let my body fall down in your presence, like that he's saying. Hridaye dharemo tomar kamala charana नयने देखी मु तुम्हार चांद वदना जिह्वाय चारि तुम्हार कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम ये मत मोर इच्छा चाड़ी मु पराणा. So here he is expressing his heart. Let me take your lotus feet and keep it on my heart. Your lotus feet, and with my 2 eyes, let me see your 2 eyes which are like bumblebees. So Mahaprabhu's eyes are big eyes, like Srimati Radharani's eyes. And Mahaprabhu's identity is Krishna, and with the complexion of molten gold. So looking at you, your 2 eyes, and taking your lotus feet on my chest, and with my tongue, chanting the name, Krishna Chaitanya Nam, chanting Krishna Chaitanya. 3 things he says. At that time, let me chadimo pran, let me give up my body like that. Taking your lotus feet in my heart, seeing your beautiful eyes with 2 lotus-like eye petals, eyes, and let me chant Krishna Chaitanya Nam and let me give. This is my last desire, he says. More yayi icha yadi tomara prasade haya यही निवेदन मोर कर दया माया यही नीच देह मोर पड़ुक तब आगे यही मंचा सिद्धि मोर तुम्हाते लागे. Let this low-class body, born in a Yavana family, fall to the ground. And in your presence, if I leave my body, I will attain all perfection. प्रभु कहे हरिदास ये तुम मांगिबे कृष्ण कृपा माया ताहा अवश्य करीबे. Mahaprabhu will never say that I will fulfill your desires. He says, if Krishna wills, all your desires will be fulfilled. Like that Mahaprabhu is saying. Same thing Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami. He said that, same thing he told Raghunath Das Goswami also, that, Krishna has awakened love in your heart, and you have developed such detachment. So, and when Raghunath Das told Mahaprabhu that, I don't know who Krishna is, I only know you. I know your mercy. Your mercy has delivered me, like that he would say. Yeah. किंतु हमारा ये किचु सुख सब तुम्हालया तुम्हारे योग्य नहीं आवे हमारे चाडिया. At the same time, Haridas, uh, you want to live before me, but whatever happiness I possess is all by your association, he's telling. If you go, leave me behind and go away, now then I'll be very morose and miserable without you. So how can we Vaishnavas survive without association of such a great soul like you? See, Mahaprabhu is coming to meet. All Vaishnavas are saying, see, Charan gare kahe Haridas na kari maya Avashyamo adame Prabhu karaye daya daya. My dear Lord, don't create an illusion. And then he's going to give an example. If one ant dies somewhere in one corner of the village in the forest, will anybody take it seriously? I am like that ant, he says. See, he's saying here. You have millions of devotees satisfying you who are fit to sit on my head, which means they can put their lotus feet on my head, all the devotees. They are all assisting your pastimes. Who am I? ये कपिपली कामले पृथ्वी कहाँ हैला. He's saying, if one small insect or ant dies, what is the loss for anybody to the material world? Like that he's saying. Bhakta vatsala Prabhu tumi mui bhakta bhasa avashya purave Prabhu more asha. See, you are a Bhakta Vatsal, I am Bhakta Abhas. Bhakta Abhas means what? Imitation devotee, not a true devotee. I am doing something, simply copying devotees. Devotees are jumping, I am also jumping with them. Devotees are wearing tilak, I also wear tilak. Devotees are chanting Hare Krishna, I also take a bead bag. Sometimes a small child you will see taking a bead bag, seeing the mother or father. You have seen that? He'll be putting a very big bead bag with hand to the neck as if he's going to chant 16 rounds. He doesn't chant one round also, sometimes. The children just imitate the parents. I am also an imitator. Like that is saying, Bhakta Abhas. Avashya Purave Prabhu Mora E Ash. Because you are a Bhakta Vatsal, I am confident that you will fulfill my aspirations, like that is saying. So Mahaprabhu got up to leave and perform his noon duties and chant and everything. Following day, after seeing Jagannath, he returned. So, you see, till now what we read, one very important lesson. Mahaprabhu is telling Haridas Thakur, if you leave, how will I be able to survive without your association? So in this way, Mahaprabhu gave a sense of, identity for all the devotees that they are very important for him. Whether it is Sanatana Goswami, or whether it is Saru Damodar, whether it is Govinda, whether it is Balabhadra Bhattacharya. One time, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, in the forest, Mahaprabhu would be going through the Jharkhand forest. In some villages, while walking, he cannot reach the village. Then in the night, he would just sleep under a tree only, in the forest. He would just put a cloth and sleep under a tree. And Balabhadra Bhattacharya would make some little arrangement for Mahaprabhu to sleep peacefully. They would sleep in the forest only, the side of the road. They would sleep like that. And sometimes one village to the next village would be very far away. So therefore, Balabhadra would carry vegetables and everything with him. In the forest, he would put 3 stones and then lit fire, then cook like that. So Mahaprabhu later on told Balabhadra Bhattacharya, you made my life very easy by, cooking for me and traveling with me, assisting with me. And then Mahaprabhu said, you are like Garuda, who is always accompanying the Lord, assisting. So he said, Balabhadra said, I am not like Garuda, I am like a crow, he said. I am only trouble creator for you. Huh? So Mahaprabhu is always grateful to his devotees, and here he is very grateful to Haridas Thakur that you became Namacharya and set a beautiful example for the whole world. Whole world is chanting by seeing your inspiration, like that he said. But actually, Mahaprabhu himself is a great example. So Mahaprabhu gave a sense of belonging to his devotees. Like all of us, we all are worried about one thing in our life. Let me not be useless entity. Let me be able to do some contribution so that in Prabhupada's mission, so Prabhupada will be pleased and Vaishnavas will be pleased, the world will be benefited. But there's a great secret fear in the heart of every conditioned soul that no one should consider me good for nothing, or no one should consider me useless, or I should not be insignificant. I should make some significant contribution. At the same time, too much eagerness to make a very big significant, like we say, lion share, that type of contribution, that can lead to fruitive mentality also. That can lead to fruitive mentality. That can also lead to insecurity by comparing oneself with others. That can lead to envy for others also. That's another extreme. And this extreme can lead to inferiority complex. When one thinks that I'm good for nothing, I'm useless and things like that. So, what is the difference between Haridas Thakur's humility and inferiority complex? What is the difference between Dainyata and Nyunagandata? There are two words. Dainyata means you are a great soul, but you feel you are small. That is called Dainyata. Nyunagandata means you are small, but you want to be considered as big by others. Therefore, you pretend to be humble, and everybody knows you are small only. That is called as inferiority complex. You understand the difference? Like one devotee wrote to Prabhupada, 5-6 pages of problems he wrote, and finally wrote, you are most insignificant servant. So and so he wrote. Prabhupada said, how is it possible? You say you are the most insignificant servant, but your problem is so big. Not possible. If you are most insignificant servant, your problem also should be insignificant. Prabhupada said. Therefore, he said, you have some problem. You are not considering yourself most insignificant. You are just speaking like a parrot. So, the inferiority complex means we are actually inferior, but we want to be considered as superior. Whereas humility means one is a great soul, but one feels one is small, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Haridas Thakur. They actually consider themselves small, other Vaishnavas to be greater. Like that. So the next day Mahaprabhu came, accompanied by all the devotees, and Haridas Thakur offered respects to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas. Mahaprabhu inquired, Haridas, what's the news? And then Haridas Thakur replied, my Lord, whatever mercy you can bestow upon me now. He was prepared. Because, exactly, therefore, Prabhupada compares Haridas Thakur to Bhishma Pitama. Because Bhishma Pitama had Ichamrityu. He could leave his body at will. Actually, many people in India desire that when I become 80 or 85, when the body cannot function anymore better, I just get up in the morning, complete your rounds, take a glass of milk, and just relax in an easy chair, and then in one moment you leave the body. And no diseases in the body, no accidents, no suffering, a tube in the nose and ear and all over the body, and all kinds of things. So most people in India have a desire to leave the body like that, in my observation when I talk. But a devotee of the Lord actually has a desire that I want to leave the body remembering the Lord. That many people don't say that. They say, peacefully I want to leave. What is peaceful? Simply peacefully, if you leave also, again you have to be reborn. But if you remember the Lord and leave, then you will not be reborn. If you are remembering the Lord, even in a miserable situation, if you leave the body also, like Gajendra, he left his elephant body and acquired a Vaikuntha body. But did he leave the body miserably or comfortably? Miserably. But then he attained Vaikuntha body, correct, no? Isn't it? So which is important? You want to attain a Vaikuntha body even though material situation is miserable, or you want a very comfortable miserable situation and you forget Krishna? Which one? Somebody was saying, Prabhuji, comfortably I want to leave and go to Vaikuntha. Isn't it? Isn't it? So here Haridas Thakur's desire is, I don't want to leave the body because I am an old man now. I want to leave the body because I don't want to see your unfolding, seeing you are winding up your pastimes on earth. Because without you, I cannot live. That is his feeling of separation for Lord Chaitanya. That's one thing. And second thing, even though he wanted to leave before Mahaprabhu, he wanted to see Mahaprabhu with his eyes, chant his names, take his lotus feet on his heart. All these things are actually desire of a pure devotee, so that one can firmly take shelter of the Lord. So headed by Saru Damodar Goswami, all devotees began congregational chanting in front of Haridas Thakur. In front of all, Mahaprabhu began to describe the holy attributes of Haridas Thakur and glorified Haridas Thakur, as if he possessed 5 mouths. And all devotees were struck with wonder. Mahaprabhu said how, Haridas Thakur was born in a Yavan family, but right from young age he had a great taste for chanting the holy name. And met Mahaprabhu, and he's a great preacher also. He would go place to place, traveling and preaching the glories of the holy name and making people instantly take to the chanting of the holy name. He lived in a cave where a very big mountain serpent was living. Once Kazi called him and ordered him that you are born in a Yavan family, you cannot chant Hindu god's name. So he laughed, Haridas Thakur, and said, what are you talking? Hindu God, Muslim God, Christian God, different gods you are talking. All gods are ultimately, there's only one Supreme Bhagavan. In all religions, you will find that there is one capital G-O-D. So he is addressed by millions of names. What's wrong if you address with this Krishna and Rama? He spoke very boldly. So they told him that either you follow what we say, otherwise you will be beaten up in 21 marketplaces. And he was ready to be beaten up. So the sentries who were beating him, they got tired after 3-4 marketplaces. And they bet and tried, they couldn't hurt him. After 21 marketplaces, they loudly cried and said, you see, please kindly die, otherwise our Kazi will behead our heads. So he said, oh, because of me, you guys should not suffer. So he said, I will leave my body. He sat in rapt meditation, chanting holy name, and he left the body, apparently. So the sentries picked him up and threw him in the river and went away. Told the Kazi that he's finished now. But then the river course took him to another place where Haridas Thakur again came out of water. And again, raising the arms, he started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Again started preaching. So when the Kazi came to know, he was shocked. Nobody survives beyond 2 or 3 marketplaces. He survived 21 marketplaces. So spare his life now. He is a godly man. Better we surrender to him, whether let us respect him. So Mahaprabhu was glorifying all these attributes of Haridas. One day Haridas Thakur was put in a jail by one of the kings. And Haridas Thakur saw the thieves in the jail. All of them chanted the holy name, seeing Haridas. And they cheerfully chanted the holy name. Haridas Thakur said, all of you remain as you are, he said. So they became very sad. They said, we thought that you will bless us to come out of the jail. You are telling us to remain in the jail. He said, see, in the jail, your situation is miserable, but that misery is helping you to chant the holy name. So whether you are inside the jail or outside the jail, whichever situation helps you to chant the holy name, you remain in that situation. Like that he said. In this way, Haridas Thakur vigorously preached the holy name in various places. And when Raghunath Das was a small boy, small child, he was taken by Balram Acharya to the cave where Haridas Thakur was chanting. The first sight of Haridas Thakur instilled a great vairagya in the heart of the child Raghunath Das. Raghunath Das became charmed by this personality of Haridas Thakur. He would always tell him, please take me to Haridas Thakur, I want to see him. So he saw his chanting japa, the holy name, he became charmed by him. Later on, then he understood that Haridas Thakur's inspiration comes from Lord Chaitanya. So then Raghunath Das wanted to see Lord Chaitanya, and then he became attracted to Lord Chaitanya's mission, and then he joined afterwards. So in this way, Mahaprabhu glorified Haridas Thakur. Now he's leaving the body here. Haridasa nijagrete Prabhu re vasaila Nija netra dui branga mukha padma dila. So Haridas Thakur made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sit down in front of him, and then his eyes fixed eyes like two bumblebees on the lotus face of the Lord, just like he would fix up his mind on the holy name. Now he's fixing his eyes on the Lord's beautiful face. Yeah. Yeah. He held the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on his heart and took the dust off all the feet of all the devotees present and put it on his head. Yeah. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shabda Balena Vara Vara Prabhu Mukha Madhuri Piye Prabhu Mukha Madhuri Piye Netre Jaladhara. So with his mouth he was chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and he saw the beauty of Lord Chaitanya's face, and tears of prema bhakti were showering from his eyes. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Shabda Karite Ucharana Namera Sahita Prana Kaila Utkramana. In this way, chanting Lord Chaitanya's names, he gave up left his body. Like 8.5, Krishna says, Antakale chamameva swaran muktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. Anyone while leaving the body, when one calls out the names of the Lord, he definitely attains the abode of the Lord. That is promised by Krishna. So Haridas Thakur, by his own will, he fulfilled his will as he desired and aspired. And then how Mahaprabhu celebrated Haridas Thakur's disappearance festival is a very, very amazing description. There was a tumultuous roaring, chanting of the names of Hari and Krishna. And Mahaprabhu became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Mahaprabhu picked up Haridas Thakur's body and placed on his lap. And he got up and he started dancing with his body. You see here? Mahaprabhu. And all the devotees are beating mridanga and kartal and everybody is dancing. Seeing Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love, all the devotees, they also began to dance and sing congregationally. And Mahaprabhu danced for some time. And then Swarup Damodar told Mahaprabhu that now we have to perform the rituals for the body. Actually, when somebody dies, generally people cry. You don't see people dancing and singing holy name, correct? No? People may misunderstand. Sometimes if somebody has passed away, you go to their home and you are dancing and singing. People say, this is not the occasion to dance. In fact, they have a crying party also, they call in India. They pay also. You've seen that? Because if the householders, they cannot cry enough, they call a party to cry. But in Vaishnava association, a Vaishnava, what they feel, the understanding in Vaishnava line is, when a Vaishnava leaves the world, there is simultaneous joy and pain in the heart of devotees. Pain that we are going to lose their association. And joy that they have perfected their life so nicely. All their life they chanted rounds, they wore tilak, they preached the glories of the Lord, faithfully executed devotion service, remained loyal to Guru, and did not stray away from the path. And now they are ascending to the spiritual world, seeing that the devotees feel great joy for their example. Thank you for faithfully practicing Krishna consciousness and giving us inspiration. If some devotee falls down and goes away, you get very discouraged. You were such a nice devotee, you left and went away, you get discouraged. Many get discouraged. But if somebody faithfully till the last breath in life practiced, we are grateful for their example, we are grateful for their association, we are grateful for all the preaching they did and awakening of love in the heart of so many people they did. So devotees, and because they have attained perfection, devotees feel joy that they have attained perfection. Because we know the soul never dies, only the body is the dress over the soul. The soul leaves the body and then is ascending to the spiritual world. So devotees feel joy. The only pain devotees feel is because now we cannot see the devotee anymore, we can't talk to the devotee. We have lost their association. So body of Haridas Thakur was raised on a carrier, like an airship, taken to the sea. Mahaprabhu danced in front, and Okareshwar Pandit, they all danced also. Chanted and danced behind Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu bathed the body of Haridas Thakur and declared, from this day on, this sea has become a great pilgrimage site. He said, everyone drank the water and had touched the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur. Smeared remnants of Jagannath's sandalwood pulp over Haridasa's body. A hole was dug on the sand, and body of Haridasa Thakur was placed in that. His silken robe, sandalwood pulp, food and cloth placed on the body. Everything, all Jagannatha's, remnants. All around the body, the devotees perform congregation chanting with Vakreshwar dancing. Hari Bola Bale Gaura Rai. Apani Shri Haste Valu Dilatan Ragai. With his transcendental hands, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally covered the body of Haridas Thakur with sand, chanting, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Like that Mahaprabhu was chanting. And devotees covered the body of Haridas Thakur with sand also. Vedi Prabhu Kaila Kirtana Nartana Haridwani Kola Hale Bharila Bhuvana. So around the body of Haridas Thakur, Mahaprabhu went around doing kirtan and dancing, round and round. Pradakshina he was doing. And then everywhere there was Haridwani, Kolahale. All devotees played the mridanga and kartal and did kirtans. Tave Mahaprabhu Sabha Bhakta Gane Sange Bhakta Gana Sange Samudre Karila Snana Jala Keli Range. The Mahaprabhu bathed in the sea with his devotees swimming and playing in the water in great jubilation, remembering Haridas Thakur's qualities. And in this way, and then he approached Simhadwara gate, and Mahaprabhu started taking his Angavastra, started begging for prasadam from the shopkeepers. When shopkeepers saw Mahaprabhu was coming to beg, they gave buckets, and they gave the whole baskets of prasad. Please take our whole shop, they were saying. And immediately Saruda Mother came and said, hey, shopkeepers, all of you don't keep everything. Mahaprabhu, first of all, cannot carry also everything. Because Mahaprabhu came, they wanted to give away everything what they had. Little only you guys should give, because Mahaprabhu wanted to take from every one of you. So then Saruda Mother told Mahaprabhu, you go back and sit, otherwise you go to Gambira. Otherwise all these fellows will empty the shops and bring everything to you. So he kept with him 4 Vaishnavas for carrying the prasad from Anand Bazar. Saruda Damodar. Deliver only 4 palmfuls of prasad from each and every item. Like that he asked. And then all the varieties of prasadam was collected. And then Kashi Mishra and Vaninath Patnaik, they also arranged for prasadam to be sent. And Mahaprabhu made all the devotees sit in rows. Personally began to distribute. Then Mahaprabhu started distributing with his own hand. Mahaprabhu Rashi Haste Alpana Ise Eka Eka Pate Pancha Janera Bhaksha Pariveshe. In each plate, Mahaprabhu was putting that much prasad what 5 people could eat. Because Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he can eat chapan bhog. Like that he was serving. And everybody would shout, hi, hi. They won't be able to eat that much. So Mahaprabhu was very, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda were behind. And all Vaishnavas are sitting. Mahaprabhu is personally serving. And Saruda said, please sit and watch. With these men, I will distribute prasad, he said. And then Saruda Damodar, Jagadananda, Pandit, and Kashishwar, and Shankara, they all distributed prasadam. And in this way, all the Vaishnavas had. And Paramanandapuri, Brahmananda Parati, they all sat with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the elders. So they all began to take prasad. Mahaprabhu said, give them more, he was telling. And Mahaprabhu was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. And then Kripa Kari Krishna More Diya Chila Sangha Swatantra Krishna Rayicha Kaila Sangha Bhanga. Mahaprabhu is telling all the devotees, being merciful upon me, Krishna gave me the association of Haridas Thakur. Being independent of his desires, he has now broken that association, he is saying. So he is teaching the devotees how to be grateful for the association of great souls and how to feel the pinch of separation from them when they disappear from our sight. And both these things will become instrumental in helping us advance in spiritual life. If one doesn't feel gratitude to great souls, then we may be existing like a mosquito sitting on the lap of a Vaishnava. It doesn't benefit much. Prabhupada said, mosquito sits on the Vyasasan, Acharya sits on the Vyasasan. He said, what is the mosquito is only a trouble creator, he said. So one should be grateful and one should become inspired and then follow the instructions when Vaishnava is living. And after the Vaishnava leaves, then one should feel Kaila Sangha Bhanga. He says, oh, I feel the pinch of losing association of Haridas Thakur daily. Like that. Haridas chaya behaila chalite Amar shakati tare narile rakite Icha matre kaila nija prana nishkramana Purvayena shuniyachi bhishmera marana. Mahaprabhu said, I would not have left Haridas Thakur to go, but his desire was very strong and he defeated my power to protect him and keep him. Because he wanted to leave before me because he had a Icha Mrityu, like Bhishma Pitama. He decided to leave before me, I could not stop him, like that he is saying. Haridasa Achila Prithvira Shiromani Taha Vina Ratna Shunya Haila Medini. Haridas Thakur was a crown jewel on the head of this world. Without him, this world would be now bereft of its valuable jewel, like the Mahaprabhu is saying. Just like if a person is wearing a mukut is a very prominent portion in the head. If mukut is removed, how it will be? He's saying without Haridas, it's like that. Jaya Jaya Haridas, Balikara Haridvani. Ye tavali Mahaprabhu nachena apani. He told all the devotees, say Jaya Jaya Haridas. Jaya Jaya Haridas. Mahaprabhu told all the devotees, and then saying this, Mahaprabhu started dancing. Sabe Gaya Jaya 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 Haridasa. Namera Mahima Yeha Karila Prakasha. Everyone began to chant the glories of Haridas Thakur, who revealed the importance of chanting the holy name. And then Mahaprabhu took a leave of the devotees. So, what is the advantage of hearing this pastime? Last part of the talk now. 2 minutes, I'll finish it. Kaviraj Goswami is saying, I shared with all of you the victorious passing away of Haridas Thakur. And those who hear this, what they will get. Anyone who hears this narration will certainly fix his mind firmly in devotion to Sri Krishna. Yahare Shravane Krishne Drida Bhakti Haya. We'll recite this verse. Veita Kahilu Haridase Ravijaya. Yahare Shravane Krishne Drida Bhakti Haya. See, the word Vijay is used. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Kirtan. Similarly, Tato Jayam Budhiraye. Hearing Bhagavatam is also Jayam. Similarly, Param Vijayate. That means chanting the holy name leads to Vijay. Reciting Bhagavatam leads to Vijay. Similarly, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Pato Dhanudhara Tatra Shri Vijay. Where there is Krishna and Arjuna, Lord and the devotee, anybody who studies the Gita, they get Vijay also. So Haridas Thakur attained victory in his life. So when I was writing a series of books for the youths, fourth book I gave the name Victory Over Death. So one college student in a book table, he said, sir, at the time of death, everybody is defeated because body is finished. Then why do you say victory over death? I said, therefore you should read that book, I told him. You go inside and see Jatayu attained victory over death. Ajamila attained victory over death. Haridas Thakur attained victory over death. Because they cast away the body in the ground and the soul entered the spiritual world, associated with Krishna eternally. Chaitanya Bhata Vatsalya Ihayate Jani Bhakta Vancha Purna Kaila Nyasi Shiromani. How much Mahaprabhu takes care of his own devotees is seen from this pastime. He fulfilled the desires of his devotees, he says. He fully satisfied the desire of Haridas Thakur. In this way, when Haridas Thakur was at the last stage of his life, Mahaprabhu gave him company and allowed him to touch him. Thereafter, He took the body of Haridas Thakur on his lap and personally danced with it. He covered the body with sand and he begged alms from shopkeepers for him. Conducted a great festival of Sankirtan, passing away of Haridas Thakur. In this way, Mahaprabhu taught the world how the Vaishnavas should be treated even after passing away, how all the Vaishnavas should come together and do Sankirtan and give a send-off. He showed his affection for his devotee. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Mahabhagavata Haridasa Parama Vidwan Ye Saubhagya Lagi Aage Karira Prayan. Haridas Thakur was not only the topmost devotee of the Lord, but also a great and learned scholar. It was his great fortune that he passed away before the eyes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Srila Haridas Thakur ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.